Hi everyone, this is the Michigan State University Yu-Gi-Oh! Club. We have here Cody Anderson, who took second place. Cody, what are you playing today?
I'm playing she's a Tearlament.
Oh, even in Kosh format?
Even in Kosh format. We played 2 Kosh today. Lost a shifter in the finals, but you know, that happens.
Yeah, but you beat me.
I sure did.
With God Mills.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's say the list.
Word. First thing, 3 Tearlament Kashtira. This is the only thing that's making the deck work again. This is a mill 5 if you see it basically. And yeah, phenomenal card all around. Good mill, good draw, everything that you would want out of a card. 2 Rhino Heart. I thought about playing 3, but there's just not space in the deck to do it really, and it's okay to draw it, but you'd rather normal summon Diviner of the Herald instead. So 2 makes sense.
Okay.
1 of each fusion, just it's all you can do.
Yeah.
Then Foolish Barrel, honorary tier card, just gets you any monster in the grave that you haven't seen already. Then Terraforming, 3 Planet. Don't think that needs any explanation either. Planet's a crazy card. And more engine, of course. Got 2 Scream. Again, I want a third of this, but it's not the greatest mill ever. Like, adding a trap card is nice, but you don't really need it, and drawing it is just okay. So you really have to make concessions for like non-engine to make your deck more consistent, which seems paradoxical, but it all makes sense in the end. Got 1 Meta Noise. Meta Noise together with Tier Cache is actually crazy, because once you've milled a Tier Cache, you're able to Meta Noise it back to your hand and then get its summon effect as well. So it gives you a way to get a free body. It's also a Book of Moon, which is really good this format.
Yeah.
2 Sulic, and then Trivikarma. Trivikarma adds any card that mentions Visa Starfrost by banishing it from your graveyard. So it gives you access to Sulic, to Scream, to Planet, to Meta Noise. So it gives you that last missing piece that you need a lot of time. And we go through Beatrice a lot of the time for our combo lines, so this is just free real estate. Moving on to the Ishizu cards, obviously we're just playing 4. That's all you can play. And then 2 Diviner of the Herald to access them.
The honorary Ishizu card.
Yeah, this card is phenomenal because it's also half of a Beatrice if you see it on your normal summon. So I think a 3rd Diviner would sooner be played over a 3rd Rhino Heart.
Okay.
Then this I was trying out today and I've been really liking is Dangers. Not a very big package. I only own 2 Nessie right now, which is kind of funny because in my testing I was doing 3 because it's a dark aqua, so it in graveyard with a tier card is a Garura, which is again another half of Beatrice. We're really trying to emphasize making Beatrice as well as possible. And Jackalope just gives you more access to Nessie, or it gives you access to Mothman, which is a 4 for Xyz plays. And then all of these like can trigger cards from your hand. Danger Tier was a real deck in both formats. Then the Kitkalos, 3 of in the main deck, and a Polymerization. Yeah, King of the Swamp, again, it's an Aqua. It replaces the name of a named monster on a fusion. So you need to play 3 of it. You need to see it in your graveyard as much as possible. Stahl's Singular Beast. I don't like Hellstall. I think that's kind of a cope card. The mills aren't that necessary for this build of the deck. And I feel like it's a super brick if you do draw it. 3 Super Poly in main. This is really important into the Kashtira matchup actually, because if you open any of your tier fusions, you can normal summon that tier fusion, Super Poly their Arise Heart away. That puts Mud Dragon on your board, and then you can use the tier effect that hits graveyard to use your Mud Dragon to then go into Dragostophelia. So you're able to break boards that way, and we've also got 3 Gamma Seal to help out with that. Also an Aqua monster, so it again will help with your fusion consistency. And that's the main deck, 40 cards clean. Move to the extra. All of our fusions. Graph of Fusion is amazing in this build, as is Guardian Chimera, which you use Polymerization specifically to make. So like going second, drawing King of the Swamp, Guardian Chimera is another way to break boards and get further advantage. And yeah, I think everything else here is pretty understandable. And I had a 15th slot, and I was thinking between like a second Zeus, a second Kaleido Heart, or a second Roll Colors, but we did Entis. And Entis put in actually a ton of work that I didn't expect it to have. because our usual end board involves Cross Sheep. And Cross Sheep is great because if you summon a fusion monster to it, or if it's already pointing at a fusion monster and something special summoned to its other arrow, you can special level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard.
So I actually have a quick question.
Yeah.
Did you ever need like the second Rukalos, the second Kaleidosaur at all?
Today, no.
Okay.
I wasn't getting extra deck ripped at all, basically.
Not really worried about it so much?
Nope, not really. And like Zeus is usually what people are ripping from your extra deck because it's a lot easier to make Xyz monsters into Kashtira than it is to make fusions into Kashtira.
Okay.
And the Zeus is going to answer their board better than the fusions will generally.
Okay.
Yeah. So on your opponent's turn, you can summon something to Cross Sheep's arrow while it's pointing at a fusion, and that can be Diviner. And Diviner can send Entis, which gives you a pop on your opponent's turn. Or it can pop your own monsters too, which I had to do, I think, twice today actually, just to get like further mills or further fusion effects off. So yeah, big fan of Entis. I think it's a very surprising tech that worked out.
I think a lot of people are like playing it right now, especially with like Kashtira when they're like overlaying for additional material and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of decks can make use of Entis.
Yeah.
Go into Xyz, obviously Zeus. Dugaris is phenomenal. Redoer and Beatrice. And you are basically always putting these two on your end board if you can do like full combo.
Okay.
Dugaris helps you get there a lot of the time. I was liking the Reborn effect when I was on a more Kashtira heavy build, but now that we're doing like dangers and cards in hand that we want to discard, the draw 2, discard 1 just fixes so many situations. It's kind of insane, and it's very easy fodder for Cross Sheep, which I think is the big innovation for this list that lets you do so much more and raises your ceiling a lot.
Yeah, because not even then, like not many people are playing Cross Sheep. We thought no one's playing Cross Sheep.
I didn't see any deck lists that were doing it when I was doing my research. So yeah, I mean, this makes milling Diviner totally fine. Because if you mill Diviner, you can summon it back off of Cross Sheep a lot of the time.
Right.
And just get your Diviner effect and then mill 5 more. And yeah, Cross Sheep was our 14th card, and 15th card Baron.
Did you make it at all? Or?
I think I made it one time. And it's just Diviner plus a 4, but a lot of the time your 4s are going into these two, and your Diviner's going into Beatrice.
So would you say like the Barone is like a flex spot then, or?
Yeah, I would say that and the Entis are cards to question. So like if you're really expecting a lot of cash that they're ripping your extra deck, you can go for a second Zeus, I would say, is your first choice. Or you can like do Sprite Sprint, but the more I played this out, the less I liked Sprite Sprint because you had to give up your Cross Sheep to make it.
Yeah.
Or you have to play like IP Masquerena to then go into it on your opponent's turn, which is a valid strategy as well. Yep, there's the extra deck. Just side deck now. This is really subject to change, but 3 evenly. You're playing on both players' turns a lot of the time, so your battle phase isn't that important. And trap matchups are a little scary. So we've got 2 Heartbeat as well as a Crime. The Heartbeat and the Crime go in first, just to make sure that you can get your Crime off of the Heartbeats.
Right.
So like if you mill this early on, you can send a Heartbeats later on and then get your Crime back. 3 talents, you can take a Rise Heart, crash into something, make Zeus. So it's another way of routing a Rise Heart mostly.
That's fair.
And 3 Dark Ruler. This was for like full zone lock in my head. Otherwise you can just play Imperm and have it be more ubiquitous and not have to worry about cash. The Kashtira follow-up, which is really strong.
But even then, like if you try to like Dark Ruler their Shangri Ira, like Dark Ruler wouldn't shut off the zone
Shut
lanes.
off the zone locks now.
Okay.
And then yeah, just free Ash Blossom.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brandon's a deck, and I feel like this is bad into most matchups, honestly. Like, Kashtira doesn't do enough. You'd rather have board breakers.
Right.
Labyrinth, it's fine against. And, like, all the rogue matchups, you can just play through their stuff, generally speaking.
All right, got any shout-outs?
Shoutouts to Ben and Dustin, who put me through the ringer on this deck for the entirety of Pope format, the entirety of Dabble format. Made me learn how to play the deck a lot better than I otherwise would have. Shouts to Red, shouts to MSU Yu-Gi-Oh, shouts to Starlight Games, All-Star Sports and Games as well. I think that's about it, yeah.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Thank you.